Hi guys, and welcome back to the latest video. I'm sorry I wasn't able to cover My Hero Academia chapter 337 last week. I was on vacation actually. But in the meantime, I've received a new webcam and I hope you guys like it. The entire setting is a little bit more brighter, and so perhaps I could look a little bit more handsome or a little bit more ugly depending how you look on it. But without further ado guys, let's hop right into chapter 338 of My Hero Academia. So the chapter begins with Tsukauchi asking Sanza, the police cat, to shut Ayoma's mouth and tells Deku that he has no way to take his hand since he's tied up. He also says that no matter the circumstances, the crimes he committed under All for One will not be erased, and even if they assume he won't explode, it's better to take him straight to the central hospital to be 100% sure. Tsukauchi asks the parents why they didn't warn All for One about the Camino raid, and they answer that the communication is one way only. Since he didn't contact them at the time, they couldn't have told him even if they wanted to. Midoriya interrupts saying that they are unlikely to find All for One on their own. Kaminari, Momo, and Mineta understand on the spot what he is thinking. Ayoma is the only one capable of leading them to him. That is a good point. I guess they could do a reverse Uno type card where they use Ayama to bring them to All for One, but given that the heroes pulled up on the villains in the last war arc, I imagine the villains are going to pull up on the heroes in this arc. President Mike thinks that they are jumping the gun and that it is impossible to trust Ayoma right now, but Ida interrupts saying that the mistakes he made are water under the bridge. He says that they are also to blame for not being able to save his heart, and that at this point what Ida wants most is to hold the hand of his classmate who is crying in despair. Honestly, this is not water under the bridge remotely in my opinion. This is absolute treachery, and the fact that he could have got all of his classmates killed, got All Might killed, got all of the heroes killed. I don't think that it is water under the bridge remotely, and although he should be forgiven at some point, his actions he should still be held accountable to, and that he should be able to redeem himself by helping his classmates and becoming a true hero like he aims to be. Bakugo says that he's going to hit at least 5 howitzer impacts in Ayoma's face to make up for the kidnapping, and Sero tells him to stop because it's hard to tell if it's a joke or not. Given that it's Bakugo, you can really never tell. Kirishima mentions the fact that Ayoma was asking his parents to stop, so it's obvious that he doesn't want to obey All for One anymore. Just as they didn't blame Deku for hiding that he didn't have a quirk, the best thing to do with Ayoma is accept him back. Okay, well these are obviously two different circumstances. Deku is hiding the fact that he didn't have a quirk initially and was given the power of All Might, which is what you would do given the circumstances, because people would try to either harm Deku and take his quirk or harm All Might now that they know he doesn't have their quirk anymore. Treachery and hiding the fact of your true power is something very, very different, and that is a point that I think needs to be made. Tsukauchi starts talking to Ayoma's parents about what is the most rational choice to make at the moment, but he is interrupted by Aizawa, who is watching everything through a video call on the iPad Mike is holding. I didn't know there were iPads in My Hero, but here we are. He asks Deku if he already has a specific plan, but he says no. Aizawa tells Tsukauchi that he himself is to blame for not realizing it sooner, and that he agrees with the student's decision. He then talks to Ayoma directly, saying that he doesn't intend to expel him from UA. He then asks Tsukauchi to cover the 3 Ayoma's ears because he wants to discuss an idea with the rest of the class. We then see a page showing the reaction of the students to what he said, all of whom appear shocked. Tsukauchi says that they would need to investigate certain places first and asks Sanza not to report this to the rest of the police force or anyone else. The Ayomas are being escorted down the hall and Deku calls out his name, but he's unable to answer. We see all the students in the dorms saying that they need to get ready. Ida asks Deku what they are going to do with their hero costumes since both of their costumes are a mess. Hagakure says that they will defeat All for One, and everyone agrees with an angry expression. I'm super excited to see the new costumes because, as we know, we get super stoked on the new cosmetics and the fact that the heroes' current costumes, they're cool and all, but I think they can definitely upgrade and be way more aesthetically pleasing and way more useful. And with Deku having so many new quirks, perhaps his new costumes can really help support the usage of all of these new abilities. Deku is walking down the hall still with that expression. He says that in order to go into the fight at full strength, he needs to equip himself properly. He heads for the development studio when suddenly there's a big boom and the door explodes and Hatsumi falls with her boobs on Deku's face. Good for Deku. He has some boobs in his face. We cannot ask for more from our guy. This is a little bit of fan servicey right here, but there's no complaints. We have not seen Hatsumi for quite a while, and I'm sure given the boom, I'm sure she has some ideas for what she can do with Deku's new costume. This chapter is a pretty good relaxed chapter given the recent events of the previous ones, so it's kind of more of a setup chapter, but we see right here the decision from Aizawa not to expel Ayoma from UA, which I think is great. I think that Ayoma is getting let down a little bit too easy from some of his classmates. I think that what he did was extremely serious, but I'm looking forward to see how he redeems himself throughout. With Hatsumi back in the story, I know you as well probably have missed her, just like myself, and I'm excited to see what she's been doing during all this time, because as we know, UA has been leveling up in terms of all members of UA, and I'm sure the support-oriented individuals have been leveling up as well. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please don't forget to drop a subscription if you haven't already, and possibly a like, given that we had a new camera today, which is great. I'm sorry if my voice sounded a little bit off. I am battling a cold right now from my recent ventures to California, but we are surviving with Dayquil one day at a time. So guys, as always, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and let me know in the comment section below if y'all have any holiday plans. As always, my friends, be greedier, and I will catch you all next time.